All right, welcome back to another episode of Jay's Corner. Glad to have y'all here, man. You have no idea the road that we don't went through, man, to be here. But man, look, we are here nevertheless, man. We have a special guest, as promised, man. We're gonna get to know her very well, man. We just want to appreciate you guys kind of joining in with us. The first live of
First
Jay's
live.
Corner. Usually everything is all Christine, Keisha, but now it's like y'all gonna catch the mistakes as they come, So bear with us, you know what I'm saying? Keep it in the chat, keep it in the comments. But tonight, man, we think we're going to have a great conversation. It's one of them, man. We've seen it all over social media. And it's true with social media, Keisha. Once you finish with it, it just go on
hmm
about its business. But we're gonna circle back, man.
Okay.
I think there's some things in there that, when you talk about the Kevin Hart situation, the Breakfast Club, the whole apology tour, can I get off in there, man, and probably have a different conversation. I think that a lot of people try to have on social media because you only
Yeah.
can say so much there.
Yeah.
Then it's old, and so everybody have their opinion, which is
Yeah.
good. But to me, it's like sometimes there's no nuance when you're
hmm
talking, over a screen. And so
Right.
that's why I'm thankful that you was able to kind of come out and kind of have a conversation face
Yeah.
to face, get your thoughts and opinions, things of that sort. So hopefully tonight, man, we're gonna unpack this thing, get a little bit off into the psychology. Y'all know me, I'm big on mental wellness, the ego, right? Again, what's the reality of it all? I think everybody can have their opinion once they sit on that side of the fence.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, I think with some real people affected, right? I think
hmm
that's my thing that we're not hearing from.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get off in that. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said before, she's definitely not new to me, but new to you all. I have my special guest here, Lakesia Davis. Lakesia, how we go back, man, for a minute, man. So, Lakesia, before we jump off into tonight's topic, man, give the audience a little bit about you. This is your first time on Jay's Corner.
This is my first time
I
here.
know we worked on other projects, but tell the people a little bit about who you are.
Yeah. From Louisiana, from Shreveport. I've been here quite some time. I've been a hairstylist solely for about 8 years now out of Arlington. On my social media, you can find me on Facebook, Lakesia Davis, on TikTok, and on IG, The Growing Hands. My Vagaro page is on my IG, but it's also The Growing Hands. Everything for me is The Growing Hands. That's my brand.
Okay. Okay. The growing hands. And so make sure one thing we try to do on this podcast, man, we know the motto is allies, not adversaries, man. Even if we agree to disagree. And so we'll be getting her information again. It'll also be plugged in wherever you'll find this at. This officially drops on Friday. And so I'm glad that whoever got to do it live is joining us tonight. But we want to make sure we support each other. That's the point that I'm getting at. And so even if you don't have her to be done, you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who needs them their
hmm
naps done. So we're gonna support each other, right? We support the big engine, but we're gonna make sure that we support the small ones too. So Keisha, man, before we jump into it, in tonight's episode, man, the Kevin Hart and the Breakfast Club, when the cover up hits harder than the roast. Right, I
hmm
think it's two parts to this. It was the roast and the comment and the
Yeah.
joke, but then with the aftermath, to me, the
Yeah.
Breakfast Club thing is really what I think kind of stirred the pot. So we're gonna jump off into that, but let's talk to the people just briefly about like how you and I connect. I don't want to talk about you while you here, like you're
Talk
not
about me.
here.
People talk about me all the time.
Well, then let me talk to you about you then. You know what I'm saying? She can't say that I picked on her because she asked me to talk about it. No, but look, I really appreciate and I really taken the honor to work with you on this project again because, as you know, when we had the podcast, it went through several metamorphoses, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
with different people and things of that sort. But I always like your raw energy that you bring to the table. And so as we went into this season of Jay's Corner and rebranding ourselves, it's good to kind of be back in our series,
Yeah.
my familiarity,
Yes,
right? And just
absolutely.
real conversation. And as I always say, with me doing it mostly a monologue by myself, there are even some things I be wanting to get a black woman's perspective
And I'm gonna
on
give it to you.
and get. Then you say you say let's okay. So I know we're gonna bring it out. You know what I'm saying? I just had to kind of wind it up. You know what I'm saying? Put the battery in the back. You know what I'm saying? But okay. But no, seriously, man. And so hopefully we have a good conversation here. So like I said, Keisha and I we worked on other podcasts before, even with some of that information is still out there, and so it's definitely timeless. And so hopefully we have another timeless conversation. So Man, so let's jump right into it, man. We watched the roast,
Cringe,
then we
cringed
watched the
while
Breakfast
watching the
Club,
roast.
you know. And look, and let me say this, I feel like we gotta get disclaimers, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no people be after me legally. Look, man, we believe in, like I said, allies instead of adversaries, right? We're gonna work together, even if we have a different opinion. But the truth gotta be told, right? Like nobody is too big, too small to be held above reproach.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of the things we may get off into, don't fan out on it. You know what I mean? Because the
Yeah.
truth is just the truth. We'll say opinion where it's opinion, but like some of this stuff, it just facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I want to just first start just your overall thought process, and we'll just continue to drill down into it. But just the roast in itself, Kevin Hart, he's done them before. He recently did
Mm-hmm.
the Tom Brady, so it's his turn to do the roast. Like just overall, notwithstanding them the blur or whatnot. Like, what was your thought process or your vibe toward it?
I feel like, in a way, it was more so a way to get at everybody on the stage
Mm-hmm.
in a way that they wouldn't be able to do on a regular basis
Okay.
in a normal setting. Because some of the stuff that I heard, I think I was mid braid and I had to stop. Like, what did
Okay.
he just say? And we laughing, like not us, but we're laughing at
Yeah.
some of the stuff that, like, high key. I didn't even know that Cheryl and Underwood's husband committed suicide. The way that
Yeah.
they were talking about it, it was like he fell off of a bridge, but he survived, and it was cool to talk about because he's somewhere in the audience laughing along with it. But no, like the man really died, and y'all asked her to be okay with the weird jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't get down with that
Yeah.
because if you've ever lost a loved one, it's not funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not funny at all. In the call and to have, can I say what I want to say?
Man, look, we here.
To have so many white men refer to black women as bitch.
Yeah. Say that with your chest. We don't apologize for truth.
Man, boy, your mama's a bitch. I wouldn't have been able to like not say that.
Yeah.
Like Tiana Taylor, you called her a bitch.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
Yeah.
Lizzo, a fat bitch. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. The roasts are supposed to be that way, but God, how far y'all want to take it?
Yeah. And I think that's a fair question, right? I think in this day and society, let's just be honest, man. We hide now. Right and wrong is tucked into the gray area.
Yeah.
The gray area of how if I feel that way, kind of give me permission, right?
Yeah.
And I think there is a danger to that. Like there is a space out there for it, right? Like comics and things of that sort. And I want to be sure that I say this. Like we know what a roast is,
Yeah.
right? We're gonna talk about that later. Like this is not a lecture of what a roast is. Like anybody know me. Like I love a little laugh.
Yeah.
We were just cutting up on the text. Right?
Exactly.
But to your point, like what's the line though? Where's the honor amongst thieves? I was talking to my partner the other day, and I said, man, there'll be a point in time, so I'm not that old, but if you said something about someone dead loved one, we gotta catch a fade. Like it was
Absolutely.
like even if we knew each other, it was an understood. Like even when we played the Jones, going on each other, like you had to check in. Hey,
Yeah.
mama, is that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
couldn't just drive because I knew you. I'm from the older, and so those lines I think you said
There's a line.
They
There's a
just
line,
gone.
and they crossed it a million and one times. Even with, I forget, the man in the red Eddie Murphy outfit. Like he was sick, legit had cancer, right?
Yeah,
So we're joking about cancer.
yeah,
Even for Chelsea, and that I love her. She's funny as hell. But God, and they were taking it. They was taking that shit, but it couldn't have been me.
yeah.
I ain't that good of a sport.
And let me say this while we at it, man. We got Keisha going here, man. So this is good, man. This is why I want to have you. But look, if you want to chime in, man, leave your comments in the chats. We just
Yeah.
have to keep it respectful. But no, we're gonna just be real and just be honest. We want to get some of your feedback on the actual podcast if it's something we can repeat. Amen. But no, let's just keep it real. And so I want you to know I'll be checking from time to time for your comments, man. We want you to engage and be a part of this conversation. But I think that was the thing that jumped off to me, Keisha, to where it left the roast and the comedy and what I wanted to get a laugh on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Because with me, yeah, I laugh and joke, but I'm big on mental wellness, and there's
Yeah.
just a point in time like where you're laughing at it about it in society, there's someone that's seriously
Struggling.
dealing and
Yes.
struggling with it. And the analogy, and this is why I said I want to have a conversation in real life.
Mm-hmm.
It amazes me how we talk like we know these people on TV. I'm
For
saying,
real.
they getting buku checks.
Mm-hmm.
They getting paid. So if that's
Mm-hmm.
you, if it's enough zeros for you to do that,
Hey,
your
do that.
friends and y'all getting paid, that's fine.
Yeah.
But the person over here, like the triggers and all of that is like, and so to me, it's like,
Yeah.
let's have the conversation to where if that's what you do you.
Yeah.
Because what is your return on investment,
Yeah.
right? There was a number of topics in there that I thought, and of course, the first thing people want to say, the George Floyd comment, which I definitely think was distasteful. But even
The
the
whole
one with
thing was low key racist a
even the
little
guy, the
bit. So
one
to
with the
even say that was diabolical.
yeah, right, but even the one with the Kurt guy, and I forget his name, no disrespect, the one that got recently murdered her, that was still distasteful. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, these people got families.
The one whose father was killed in was it 9/11?
Yeah.
That's a subject to joke. I don't know. I just feel like there's certain things that you should not say.
Now, Keisha, now let me I want your perspective on it because there is a sad thing that I saw, on social media. And I use social media because I like getting people's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
We're at a point where we downplay these topics as if they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was talking to my homeboy, shout out to Jeff, member of Kappa Alpha South from Parkland College, until they knock at your door. And I'm just like, so if the roast is okay having the conversation,
Yeah.
and now having the conversation, now like, so when do we talk about these real topics and issues? And the most insensitive thing that I see is just because an individual is not dealing with it, it's not that big of a topic.
Yeah.
And I like what you said a while ago, and I don't want to peer into you, but if you feel like sharing, or if you know a situation, not using name, whatever you want to pull it, do you know of or talk about, or do you know of a time, or can you talk about a time like that other person, like you alluded to, the one that we don't see
Mm.
that's going through it, that may be a trigger to them or whatnot, and how that looks like to people? Because I think that what was sad to me was just like, social media, everybody trying to be hard when
Yeah.
it ain't that serious, it ain't that deep, and it's like,
But it is that serious. And I'm gonna go back to Cheryl's. I feel like she got it sort of kind of the worst. She's a dark skinned woman, beautiful dark skinned woman, but she's a dark skinned woman.
yeah,
And they took a couple of shots at that. What they called her, the king, one of the kings of comedy.
yeah.
And we laughed at it. But it's a dark skinned girl somewhere right now who's not comfortable with being dark skinned, and she probably feels away. And it was kind of just put out there that it was okay to say stuff like that.
And that's the nail on the head. I didn't want to ask a leading question, right? Because we live in our own
Mm-hmm.
opinion. But that's the part that I think no one just thinks about,
Yeah.
man. It's not necessary. Look, all those people got paid, good, bad, and indifferent,
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about the Breakfast Club situation in a minute. But for the most part, you signed on the contract.
Yeah.
But at what point in time is there a responsibility to the boundaries of, if someone is watching it, do you take in consideration the triggers?
No, they don't. They don't
Right?
give a damn.
And it's sad to see us. And like I said, the Charlie Kirk, that's his name. May he rest in peace. Like I vehemently disagree with everything he stood for, said, and whatnot. But the comment about him, the joke about him, this man got kids, this man got family, this man got a wife. Like, even the terminology I put on social media, we say it in society. Let the dead what? Rest in peace.
Yeah.
And it's not only just that moment. Think about this video, this stand up or whatever you want to call it, is out here forever.
Everybody. Yeah.
It done trigger conversation. Hell, we're talking about it, things of that sort.
It did what they intended for it to do.
And I think that's to me, I think that's where the irresponsibility comes from, right? It's like, it's just like if we sit here and we good and whatnot, but do they give us permission to affect our neighbors and the people on the street and the whole 9 yards? It's like, how do we throw these morals and values away? But when they knock on your door, Keisha, now you got a problem.
Now you got a problem.
And I asked the question, and I try not to be insensitive on social media because you can already interpret shit just anyway. Right?
Yeah.
Anybody can put a feeling in words.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting here like, could you imagine if that was your loved one? And we're gonna overlook, and I'm talking about the George Floyd situation. We're not gonna talk about how he died.
Yeah.
How we already have that image instilled in our brain. It was plastered across TV.
Yeah.
All of that, and it's like, was it worth it? Like,
to all the ones that got paid, I guess it was for them.
And that's the thing. And that's why I try to get people to have the conversation. Like, you can't have the conversation like them. Like, you didn't get out of that with that. Of course, it's worth it for them. I mean, Cheryl, no matter what, Cheryl got, I heard she got a stand up
Yeah.
a show on Netflix out of it. And of
They
course,
better had done something.
yeah, but I'm just like, I think you go back to your point. What does it do to the average viewer? And here's my thing, Keisha, and I want your thought process this. The sad thing I thought about, okay, we cool with this. It's cool when we do it, but it's not okay when they do it. So it's a flip around. Because in the meantime, we got this fool in office who says whatever
He wants to.
intentionally, but now the same people y'all got a problem with. And I'm like, I think there's a danger there to where it's almost like being desensitized,
Yeah.
right? No, people don't like us talking about slavery. Slavery happened,
It did.
right? Like, we went through so much stuff. We were just desensitized. You know, you come on up into Jim Crow. That was just a way of life. So you were desensitized. Keisha, it's 2026. Now we turning everything into
Yeah. Yeah.
and that makes it over.
They did it that way because we were never going to stop talking about it. So now they made it to where they can talk about the shit too, but now it's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
And because it's funny, it's okay.
Yeah. And look, I want to make sure I don't aim what I'm about to say to a particular person. I'm talking about the action when I say this. But it's almost like the concept of the field nigga and house nigga, right? I still don't like you, but if I bring you in and treat you and let you sit at my table and give you some of mine, you'll do the damage that I want you to do to them yourself. All right? Like, you'll forget all about what you stand for and
Yeah.
what you went through and all the standards when you was out there.
But now that you are getting some type of a benefit, it's cool.
Yeah. I always say, what's the quote I say? We lost our heroes when they gave us enough zeros, right? You put enough zeros behind that comma, what do we start standing for? And I thought it was interesting, and I want to kind of go to Kevin Hart. And first of all, let's just be honest. So now, Kevin Hart, this is your production. For you to try to act like you have no responsibility, these people that just find themselves there in that building, like there was a contract or a signature or something.
If you remember, every time somebody was about to say something super disrespectful, they either followed it or pre-gamed. I asked her if it was okay to say this because you already knew what you were about to say or what you said was out of line. And I get it. Everybody on the stage probably had to sign something or agree to let people go there with them. I don't know. I think I kind of would have just stood like, hey, you could talk about that, and that, but that right there, you're going to leave that where it's at. Or I'm going to have something smart to say.
And the way I looked at it, if y'all all there, it's just like that, like I said, me and my frat brother, we just somewhere. What we say amongst others, honor amongst thee, that's our agreement, right? That's how we vibe. But let's just say you walk up, right? That should be a standard, a greater line drawn, right? There's a female right here. Like, these are not things Keisha made up. These are things we actually see and do. Oh, that's a lady right there. So let's change the conversation. And it's amazing how those, unfortunately, that we look up to entertainers, like, you give them a pass. But I go back to what you said before. We don't see the intrinsic danger. Like, you're talking to someone who's talked to someone who's suicidal, who has to talk to someone off the ledge and whatnot. And like, in that moment, like, you don't see the type of stuff that's contributing toward this in the build up. And I'm like, we gotta get to a line. Like, again, like this, I'm not saying we the fun police, but I'm like, this ain't that though.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you all agreed to, and even that, like you said, is problematic, right? Because I'm still watching it, still can be traumatic. But okay, my issue is those who didn't sign the contract and didn't sign up for that should have been off limits, period. Charlie Kirk, off limits, right? George Floyd should have been off limits. Because it just
that should have been a given.
It should have been a
like
given.
It rocked the nation. Why would you re-rock it?
and like I said, this has been something like that. That's just how we grew up, right? Like, we can sit here and Jones on each other. We, on the blacktop, or we doing whatever we Jones each other, but people are not there. Like I said, you have to really check in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could have been like cool as hell 1 minute, but you figure you crossed that line without checking it. And that was my thing. Come to find out, like, if you would have picked up the phone, you know what I'm saying? Hey, George, this someone in the family when I hated to check in. And I know I'm kind of getting into the interview of Kevin Hart, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But the one I want to put out there, even like what I call Steven Jackson afterwards. Come on, you give me that heads up. Check in with me and get my feedback. Cause guess what? Everybody on that stage, they knew what it was.
That's like telling somebody, I had sex with your wife, but I told you when she got up.
Right, right. And that's what we'll talk about.
I'll slap you. I'll slap the shit out of you.
It's the cover up. And see, that's why I like doing. I like taking the same concept and applying it to something else to make people see how ridiculous it sounds.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I don't get lost on that social media, see, because sometimes people just be on there. Everybody lawyers, doctors,
No, for
everybody got
real.
degrees.
I'm gonna tell you, I post my stuff. I'll share a couple of videos of my story, and oh my god, I get so much slack because of that. Like, oh, what you going through? Nothing. It was funny.
Yeah.
It was truthful. It made sense. I don't have to go through it to post it, but because of that, I post a few and I get off. So when people be like, oh, did you see this celebrity broke up with this person? And I'm like, first of all, who are they?
Yeah.
I don't get into it that much.
And I think that's why conversations like this, it's hard to have a nuanced conversation. That's why I say, like, people act like, Kevin Hart breaking you off? Like, was you a part of the backstage crew? Like, you defending that too hard.
Yeah.
But like you said, like in a relationship or something like that, oh yeah, after the fact, hey, I just want to, hey, don't blame me. Or even think about this. If I'm your friend and I knew about it, and I say, well, Keisha, I ain't the one that cheated on you. Like, don't I'm going, if you watch the Kevin Hart interview, you'll know where I'm going with this. Don't put it on me, Keisha. I didn't want the one who cheated on you. It's like, this is where we at. Like, where do these concepts work in these real other places?
Yeah.
But I want to go back to something you said. I want to chew on it just a little bit more. It's really breaking down the very thing that I think other people in society need to be broken down to get their agenda across. I was in a cigar lounge and this old school told me, he said, man, it's getting ready to get to a point in time we're going to have to stick together. He said, I know that kind of sounds cliche, but that time when we going to have to check on each other or not, because when you look at
it's already here.
Think about how desensitized we are to that. Okay, you want to quit talking about the road, social media, some small. Okay, but no one's even talking about these real things. They changing our voting rights. You know what I'm saying? This man really trying to serve a third term, putting his name on everything, like making up, taking all our history off the face of the earth. Like, so if we're not talking about it, why hear the trick? And we ain't talking about it, don't mean nothing to us. And they see a need to eradicate it. Like, yeah, well, what we doing? Like, so we just sit back and just, like the jokers just laugh and joke. It's like,
it's almost like we kind of just sitting back to see what happened. Nobody really wants, I can't say nobody. A lot of people don't want to take action because they don't want to ruffle feathers, because then you draw attention to yourself. And nobody really wants that.
Yeah.
But somebody got to do something.
Yeah.
We can't wait to the last minute.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it.
So I guess blackface should be okay then. It's done in the name of comedy, right?
That's not funny to me.
Gender bias, right? I get, hey, it's like when you really start having a real intellectual conversation about it. And I'm not, when I say that, I'm not even trying to knock people on a level of educating, but I'm like, we have to get, there is a seriousness part of it. That's what I want to talk about. I ain't want to talk about the cliches and everything. I think everybody who saw that roast understood that, yeah, there was some good points in there, but the polarizing points it made you feel a little, you busting on and you just going, but like,
because it did have it's funny moments, you know what I mean? But it was some that was like, you look around the room like, did anybody else hear that?
Like, look, I keep saying this again. Everybody who knows me know. Like, I used to be one of the biggest jokes where, like, quick story. Freshman year in college, homegirl come into the cafeteria, HBCU, Paul Quinn College, shout out. Everybody know that's the time where everybody out. And I had a habit, me and my crew, like, I'm gonna make you cry laughing, you know?
Yeah.
That was me.
That's it, yeah.
So I never forget one of my homegirls, man, she came in out, I lit up one night, she laughing and everything, everybody crying, like just a regular routine. I think it was lunchtime. After we came out into the front of the student union building, and I saw her crying. But in my mind, I'm just thinking it's, like, what's up, because this little sis, you know how it is on HBCU. And she said, you really hurt me.
Dang.
But in my mind, I'm just like, I've done this, like, this is who I am. Right?
Yeah.
Like, in other words, you should know and check how you feel, because this is what I do. So I'm trying to explain. I'm still in joking mode. She was like, "No, you know how someone get authoritative, like you got a while ago, a little authoritative." I'm glad you
That's
fuck
okay.
agree that quickly. You know what I'm saying? Hey, put your hands in your lap. No, but seriously, she got that authority. Like, no, you hurt me, and
Yeah.
that's when it clicked. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be transparent. That was the first time in that moment or any moment I even considered,
Yeah.
because I thought it was just the past.
Yeah.
You my friend, you so and so. I do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I went back and revisited what I said, I like I felt
Yeah.
bad. Like I didn't feel
I've had
convicted.
moments like
Damn.
that to where I said something in another setting, it would have been hilarious, but
Yeah.
maybe that person was still healing from that, or maybe that person told us something and they were joking about it, but they were really hurting and we didn't pick up on the clues. And
Yeah.
so I brought things back up and the group laughed, but then the person that I said it about was really in their feelings, and I couldn't understand why. Like, you just said the same thing 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But you have to pay attention. You got to read the room sometime.
And that's the thing that I try to attach. And I hate saying this as black people, so I'm trying to quit saying this. Let's have the serious conversation. No, why can't we just be intellectual? Like, why can't we walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, right? And laugh and joke when it's time to do that, but then when it's time to be real, let's be real. I think that was my biggest concern when I just sat back and looked at the whole thing. I think now more than ever, Keith, is desensitizing real parts of our emotions that we're going to need to take a stand in some type of capacity, right? I go back to stuff like when people, like even when you bring up voting rights or the gentrification you see going on, all these things, like it sounds like it's these things that you just hear in this distant screen, right? Like they don't really affect me. It's just it's what people's talking about. And I think this was a hell of an example, like you said. Look, I don't know what's in nobody's heart, right?
Yeah.
I won't even call that man name because I don't want to give him that platform. But a spade is a spade, like I said in the beginning.
And the hit dog gonna holler every time.
I found it interesting that Kevin, you went on an apology tour or an explanation tour. Let me say that 'cause you didn't apologize. But this dude right here who said the George Floyd joke went right on with his regular routine.
Cause he didn't give a damn.
Now I want you to think about that. Now, wait a minute. If you didn't say it and you on the Breakfast Club, I ain't said, and you don't want the smoke to come with it, you left holding with the bag.
I hate to say this, but we typically apologize more for things that other people do.
Yeah. But you know what? That's always been the thing, though.
No, for real. Because I've caught myself doing it. Like, let's say you walking in the store, one person's walking this way, you're walking this way. Maybe neither one of y'all are paying attention, and you know who the color of this person and me, and you be like, oh, my bad.
Yeah.
They don't say no, I'm sorry. Not all the time. They just be like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, because you almost hit me too.
Yeah. And see, that's what I'm talking about when we're talking about the psychology of it. Until it comes to, man, my bad, this should have been put on do not.
Now, when I put mine on,
you know what? Full disclosure, can I say something?
Men don't listen. No.
That's the other podcast. They ain't even supposed to be there. You know what I mean?
My bad. So I guess y'all gonna see me again.
That's the other one. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even prepared. You know what I mean? We gonna get a rough for. Let's get it on. You say shit, you know.
Look, in men's defense, a lot of women don't listen either.
But no, seriously, man. If you chiming in, man, and see, I was trying to keep this over, and both times, look, I'm being a typical man. I'm over a man swing doing all that. I'm not finna try to explain. I'm gonna get back.
Yeah, just go right on down. Keep going.
I need permission. Don't get. See, you taking me out of my square.
We do this every time.
You guys, again, we want you to chime in on this topic. You know, the name of this topic tonight. Kevin Hart and the Breakfast Club. The cover up is when the cover up it hits harder than the actual roasting itself. Again, we don't want to talk about the roast. The roast is said and done. The people that got paid, they to move on. But we want to kind of break it down and get not some of the social media fluff, but I think as Rich and I have been pointing out, there are some real lessons to be learned. And I think that's true in life.
Absolutely.
You know, glance over it or joke about it, whatnot. But I think there is an opportunity if you allow it. And I keep saying this, Keisha, now more than ever, because there is such an attack that it's like right now, we don't feel it right now. I'm not saying we got to respond right now, but to act like it don't exist.
Yeah.
That's my danger. Like just because right now, again, the voting rights movement that they're doing. Well, it ain't affecting me right now. So it don't exist. And I think that's why we get caught with our pants down, so to speak, but we're only reacting.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm gonna say this one more time to kind of just paint the picture. Even with Charlie Kirk more recently, even with George Floyd, in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and to your point, after the fact, look at the uproar, the emotional outpouring. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it was international.
Yeah. Yeah.
You mean to tell me 2 to 4 years later we just dwindling down to a joke?
Mm-hmm. That people laughed at. Nobody booed, but y'all steady booing. What's the basketball player's name?
Draymond?
Yeah. Every time they said his name, y'all booing, but y'all didn't boo at the George comment.
And I think I want to go back to something you said, and if you want to elaborate on this, you can. I think the ploy is to get us to buy in on their dirt, therefore it won't look as bad. See, if I just come out and say the racist shit,
Yeah.
I'm a racist. Well, that's easy to understand. But if I get teachers to come on and laugh and joke about it in Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
I tell people I was getting my haircut this weekend. I said, I think we as black people don't realize that the new way to conceal racism and socialism, if you are a part of it, then I'm not as guilty because I can always say what? Well, you laughed too. Well, you went along with it. And I think to me that was the biggest thing on full display.
Yeah.
Have your roles, y'all there go at each other like that's what y'all do as comedians. We as the audience get to sit back and look at you all entertain, just like a movie, right? And y'all go at each other and we can laugh and joke, move on. The moment you step outside that pool and bring it to people who are not a part of that, who didn't sign up for that, then it's, I would dare say, Keisha, it should make you wonder, put yourself in that situation. Or where else now in society is that concept to where until it knocks on our actual door, these were big issues, right? Like we watched this man on that same screen get a knee put on his neck for 8 minutes and what, 41 seconds, 21 seconds, something like that. We watched it on that same screen. And you mean to tell me like we just don't have accountability? And it's like we living our lives piece of like social media.
Yeah.
Now once trending, and once it's gone, it don't matter no more. And then if you want to talk about it, that's old news. This is a life though.
Or
This
you're
ain't just
being
a
sensitive. Lighten up.
it's not a topic on social media. We talked about it, but it ain't never good to joke about it just because it's in the past, all right? And then I heard his brother, and this is what we'll transition into the Breakfast Club. I have a hard time calling that an interview, but I digress. Did you hear about George Floyd? A brother said that her daughter, George Floyd's daughter, was starting to get bullied because they brought it all back, and now people, Kevin Hart and them getting paid for jokes. But at that school, guess what? And look, I don't care what you say, well, they're not role models, it's the parents' position. But the reality is they gave whoever at that school that baby girl go to permission to mimic and have them joke. You don't see nobody talking about that on social media because it's not their kid.
And I was just about to say, if it was my kid, then you'd have heard about me at that school.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the connection that I want people to make. Is wrong is not wrong until based on the proxy of it to you.
Yeah.
Like if we don't start standing for things, I tell people all the time, Martin Luther King could have went to his daddy's church and preached and lived a good life. He lived in Atlanta where racism was not so prolific. Thank God he stood up and said, even though this is not affecting me, I'm not gonna be okay and numb with it. We're gonna go on up here to the north and we're gonna make a change and the rest is history. And I think that's the sad thing. Like he said, why it's not popular to have these type of conversations think like this anymore? While the opposition is having them every day. The most powerful man in the world is making sure that our history is erased. That the real true reason how we came to this country and the thing we went through is erased. That's backwards to me.
Very, very backwards.
If it matters that much to him to erase it, and like I said again, we don't care because it's small talk if it's trending. Should we just sit back and just get ready to be exterminated? Like it's not a stretch. Like I don't like people to think that we talking in hypotheticals or extreme and whatnot. But I'm just like, where do we draw the line? Like you was saying earlier, because baby girl, think about the trauma she's already been through.
Right. Right.
How we know she didn't see daddy when it happened? But it's a joke.
It's a learned behavior to do stuff like that. The bullying, the no compassion. Because that means they go home to no compassion. So you bring that to school like it's okay, or shit, you don't know. Their parents might be saying,
yeah,
it's okay, baby, do what you want to do.
Yeah. Because it's not me.
Because it's not
It's just a roast.
Remember the boy who got stabbed because he was fucking with the black
Oh
boys.
yeah, then what that was in Frisco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the black boy got in trouble, huh?
Yeah.
Not the one that started it.
Yeah.
It's been made to be like it's okay when it comes to different people.
Yeah. And see, that's my problem. When we have problem with, I say we have problem with M through Z, but we don't want to look at A through L.
Yeah.
So A through L, we it's okay. We laugh and we joke. It's not that important. But then when the results come out of what happened through A through L, now we want to get our emotions involved.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, is everything, do I think is a color issue? No, but this is.
They make it one.
Yeah.
Literally, they make it one because they make it very clear who their target is. And I don't want it to look or sound like I have a problem with any race. Like, I graduated from Trinity High School. Every single nationality was there. I went to Paul Mitchell. We already know what the majority was. So I love everyone, but I don't love some of the stuff that people are allowed to get away with. And we try to slide it to the side and not make it about that, but that's exactly what it's about sometimes.
So let's get off into the interview. What I found funny, we catch a problem tonight. We're gonna talk about the anatomy of the cover. What I found funny after everybody rushed to social media, it's just jokes or just this, and no, some people.
There's some truth in every joke.
Tony, I forget his name. He literally went on another podcast and doubled down on his racist stance. So I
There's
thought about
some
it.
truth to every
So I
joke.
thought about it. Why do we feel the need to cover up the wrongdoing Master did? See, that's why I go back and again, not to be, insensitive, but it's the concept of the house nigga and the field nigga. No, if you tell the house nigga something, he's gonna cover up and fight for Master, while Master gonna keep on doing what he's supposed to be, what he's doing in the first place, right? And I found that so funny, and I didn't even put it on social media. I ain't respond because I'm like, I'm gonna use that content for the podcast. But I'm like, everybody feels, well, it's just jokes, it's just this. But the man unequivocally was racist. Hey, one thing I said is true, that there were Jews there were black people, and I'm just like, so he doubled down on what his intentions were. So it was not about the joke.
No.
He done said it, and you don't find him in an interview.
Because he said what he said.
Like the Kevin Hart and whatnot. So I'm just like, let's just be honest, you was bought out. It was enough zero for you to drop your Morgan Stanley one. And look.
So is that Cat Williams' real issue with Kevin Hart?
Yes.
And I can understand that. Yeah. I can see that.
But I think, and this is the problem, this is a whole nother thing I won't go on that tangent. That's the problem with us being comfortable at the table instead of us building our own table, right? So you give me enough zero, look out, whatnot, and we'll start, and that's okay if that's who you are, but don't crap on the ones who take a stand for something. Right? Because to some people, money isn't everything.
Most people can be bought.
And that's why I gave the analogy of MLK. Like, we think he just, I have a dream. Well, if he was really about just money, living his life, matter of fact, Coretta didn't want to get involved initially because she sung opera. She had a whole career in the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm just like, think about how our lives would have changed if some of the same people we celebrate was here. And I think about that Boondocks one when if Martin Luther King was living today, like, would it be okay? Like, you know how much that would change things, and we just up here okay being the jokester and laughing at everything and everything. Well, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, this whole tidal wave is coming, Keisha, of what this man in office is doing and whatnot, like delivering in our face. And like you said before, you just desensitizing it to it.
Yeah.
To the point where you go through so much, it's like you just feel like it ain't no use to fighting, right? Just stay in my place, so to speak. But I found that interesting that Tony Hinch, whatever his name is, doubled down on his stance. I'm like, how do we feel rushing to judgment and defending that in the name of comedy? And the man came out himself, and I'm like, but I don't see no topics about that, Keisha. Like,
you won't.
Like he said it, so you can't even argue that point anymore. But let's go back to. I just thought that was interesting. Just like you ain't gonna retract your statement, you're gonna take that post down or that comment down.
Said what he said.
But so the anatomy of the cover up, man. You and I, we have businesses, right? Like we're legit business owners. Talk to us a little bit about when I say protecting the brand. What does that mean to you? Just in his common sense, you have a brand, right? What does that mean to you? How do you go about it? Protecting that brand. What does that concept mean to you?
Everything. Not one of my clients would ever consider my business to be unprofessional, dry, because we have fun. Even though I keep it professional and I learn my clients and my clientele, they have not one bad word to say about their experience with me.
Yeah.
I overpromise and overdeliver.
Yeah.
So my brand is important to me because it's what keeps me going, literally.
Yeah.
My career pays for everything I do.
Yeah.
People always like, are you always out of town? Are you always going somewhere? Are you always doing something? I am, because I can, because I make sure that my brand is a direct reflection of me.
That was a light flex, by the way, if y'all didn't catch that. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, I'm just,
But I protect my brand at all costs. If where I'm working is hood or too ratchet, and anybody knows I love a ratchet night, but not at work.
right,
If it's doing too much, I'm gonna move around
right,
until I get my own actual space where I work is going to be dope.
right,
You want your people to feel safe with you. It's like a relationship. You want to feel safe. You want to feel protected. You want to feel appreciated in your relationship. My clients feel all of that when they're with me.
right. The reason why I wanted to share that because I wanted people to understand that, look, I'm not mad at Kevin Hart and his branding,
Mhm.
right? Like, he didn't get to $500 million without understanding, learning, doing business, protecting the
Right.
brand, good and bad, good investment, bad investment. But even like you said, there's some things like I just can't do because it's gonna mess up the money. Let's just be real. And then there are some things that I just can't be a part of, right?
Mhm.
And there are some things I have to do. I have to carry myself in doing. We was kind of talking about that. Remember about the transition
Mhm.
of the podcast,
Yeah.
right? Like when you step in business got to be handled in a certain way,
Mhm.
right? It can't be perfect. It would be good if it would. Like we all like to say, I like everybody I work with, but that's not the reality. Because business will leave you behind. To your point, if you didn't
Yeah.
have that standing consistently, I just find somebody else do my hair, and guess what?
Promise you.
So I want people to understand, like this is not an attack on Kevin. I understand he got a brand and the whole 9 yards, but now we talking about protecting the brand. Now I want to talk about how do we protect what we stand for,
Yeah.
right? Because I love something that you said, again, with you being a, fair-skinned black woman. But I love what you said earlier, where you said, even with Cheryl, acknowledging
Mhm.
that there is a thing in this world with her being a dark
Mhm.
black woman.
Yeah.
That's something that feels like you stand for.
Absolutely.
And so what I'm getting at, how do you make both of those coexist without losing what you stand for? Like, yeah, we want to protect our brand the whole 9 yards, but if offered the opportunity to to sell out what you stand for to better the brand, like real talk, like,
Mhm.
and I know we saying it because ain't nobody put no $1 million in our face.
Mhm.
But I think that is a real question. Like, how do
Yeah.
you balance that on some real shit to where you can say, okay, I secured the bag, but I still got to live with me.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's a same question to answer for everybody.
Right. Right.
I'm just speaking to you. Like, how do you?
Even with my business, I've been people have been trying to talk me into moving into a different type of clientele. They're like, that's where the real money at. And it's like, yeah, I get that, but I'm gonna stick to what I love to do, who I love to service, who I love to be around. If I did what everybody was telling me to do, I probably would not like my job. No matter, and I
Yeah,
probably would be making double what I'm making now. But I want to love what I do every day, because if I don't, I'm going to work
yeah,
instead of going to what I love to do.
yeah. I think that's a thing, Keisha, that is sad to see. And then a lot, respectfully, so many people on social media like, yeah, y'all ain't even seen real money. Let's just be real, and I can humbly sit here and say, like, we ain't seen real money for you to talk about what these people do who live it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's something to say to where at what point in time do we quit selling ourselves out just for the dollars and cents? Because I think it's too easy where people just look at the money and just, well, I just whatever. And I'm just like, that's kind of scary. Like, what if you was back in the 60s and people think that stuff is distant? And I go again, look what this man is doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's scary. We live in a world with this stuff happening now, and you're saying, let's go back to when this man got in office the second time. I'm gonna send y'all these checks and everything. And people were joking. Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Trump. Yeah, you ain't see the check since. It's like again, conceptually, do what you want to do to line your pockets. But from a conceptual standpoint, it just seemed like when we put a bag on the table,
Mm-hmm.
it's all bets are off.
Yeah.
And that's a real thing to where like that legitimizes wrongdoing. Like Okay, you can get paid for doing wrong, but it don't. Can we have a conversation that hey, Keith, that's still wrong though?
Still wrong.
Or at least say, okay, even if you do that, there's pros and cons to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like you were talking about with your clients as far as protecting your brand. Like I'm pretty sure in your profession, you've been doing it so long, there are some shortcuts you can take to demean the customer. But is that what you stand for?
That
And that's what I think
that
that's the emotional intelligence that we're not having in all these conversations.
yeah.
I know that was a long way to get to it, but I'm like
No, legit.
140 characters, but we don't even like we said, like, hey, if we cool, hey man, we finna Joan. Is that okay if we talk? Okay. I know Keith don't play talking about dead folks, so we don't even have that
Yeah.
thing anymore.
Mhm.
And then when we look on TV, going back, I think we legitimize the people we don't even know, man.
Yeah.
And in worst case scenario, like you said, they all got paid.
Every single one. Some probably more than others.
George Floyd family, and I go back to George Floyd's daughter because I'm like, is you be a point in time in some extent affecting the kid? Like you at
Yeah.
least addressed it, like
Because I didn't even hear that the daughter was being bullied.
yeah,
Like that's absolutely insane.
yeah. I forget Lauren. I forget her name. That's on the Breakfast Club. The actual journalist.
Mm-hmm.
She had did an interview with George Floyd's brother. You know, and he was talking about that's what they dealing with now, trying to. And y'all understand they just blindside like, and I don't even want to just keep belaboring the point because again, they're not my family, but I'm just saying that the empathy of understanding.
Yeah.
Today is the 7th anniversary of my father passing, and I know I still that's daddy. I can only imagine, and I
Yeah.
think that's why I'm like, it was an international thing. How can we tell them
Yeah.
that it's okay and have a sense of humor? So I saw let's say, did you see the Breakfast Club interview with Kevin Hart?
I did not see all of it. I saw snippets.
Okay. Tell me what you
Probably
think about
on
what
purpose.
well, I mean, that's all it was. Like, I'm just gonna say that. Like, there was not enough to put together. That's why I found it hard to say there was interview, man. It was just bits and
It was a
pieces.
band-aid.
But what you did see, what's your thoughts? Let me put it like that. Because again, I don't want to sound like I'm trying to lead you into saying something. But what did you think about his response to the aftermath?
He could have kept it.
Okay.
I mean, did it make you feel any better?
Right. Right. There was something that I put in my notes, and I want to make sure I said it, and I just wanted to get your thought process on it. The loudest person in the room is usually the one hurting the most.
Mm.
When you have to do a 45-minute interview to prove you aren't mad, bro, you're mad. And that's okay. Just own it. The cover up is always louder than the crime. I found it interesting that you're the one decided to go and do after your production. And I don't think people understand that this was not something Kevin Hart was a part of or invited. Like this was his production. Like he has that, and rightfully so. He's earned that cliche. But then you come to us on the Breakfast Club, where mostly who is your audience
Hmm.
and minorities, and you make yourself the victim. Why
Most
people
people make themselves the victim.
are mad at me? Why the energy card toward me? Hey, they talked about my mom. Hey, they talked about my mom. Hell, put the check that you got for that you agreed to. Like, how can you compare that to George
What did
Floyd?
they really
Or
say about your mom? That she
like,
was fucking in heaven?
yeah. But I'm like, but you signed up for that. Like, what did George Floyd family get out of it? What did Charlie Kirk family get out of it? Like, bro, you can't even put that on the worst case scenario. As much as I love sure, you got to stand up out of that. But that's y'all. But how? I think that's my biggest and sensitive thing for you to go on the Breakfast Club and get in front of us and you play the victim. Like,
Yeah. That's the
bro,
only
you
card he
got
had.
paid
That's the only
several
card he could play.
times over,
Think
and
about
I'm
it.
supposed to feel bad about you.
Think about it. If he would have came on there with any type of other energy, come on.
But it goes back to what we were saying a while ago. Okay, protect your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's live. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm not going to stand up before Will Smith, which he said that, but I'm going to use this space now to not make it about me, to just hear that George Floyd's daughter's getting bullied. Hey, that's something. Use your platform. Hey, that's something right there. The
Mm-hmm.
roast was not promoting that. We want to make sure. Use your.
Yeah.
See, that's what I talk about the responsibility. No disrespect. Look, say what you want on social media. That's what it's for,
Mm-hmm.
right? Leave your opinion, all that shit, and you feel like you feel good, like
Yeah.
and all that. But for you to have a brand, that's the thing I'm trying to tell people. We have to hold the people that we are empowering and helping them make this money. Like, now we got to look at that differently. put you to side, bro.
Yeah.
When you walk out that Breakfast Club, you go back to a life that look, ain't none of us even fathom.
Mm-hmm.
But when you hear about it, like when Lauren, I forget her name, was trying to talk to him about it, like he downplayed, like, no, I'll never watch it because he was like, well, did you see my interview that I did with Joy Ford's brother? No, I didn't. No slight to you, but no, I'll never watch it. And that's what she was talking about. The brother was saying that, man, we having trouble with the daughter being bullied. And I'm like, have we lost that concept at a last? Hey, we don't bully. Like
Mm.
these are the things I'm like the nuance with us as a people. Like, why don't on one end we said, but now because it's laughing, joking, and
Yeah.
so we don't stand for nothing,
Yeah.
right?
People pick and choose. They
You
pick and
know,
choose.
you could have
And that's
used your
crazy.
platform to leave you to the side because you have the brand to your, we were talking about brand, or you have the brand that, in all due respect, once we get through talking about this, Kevin Hart's life is going to be good, if not
Oh yeah.
better.
Yeah.
But like we said earlier, what can we learn from it? Like we keep sweeping these things up under the rug. And I think what you said again earlier, it's like an agenda to build on bigger things.
Mm-hmm.
And when the bigger things come, we don't do nothing but just kind of, we're more reactive than proactive,
Yeah. Complain.
right? I want to ask you a question about, because I feel like Kevin Hart let his ego get in the way of he could have had a real moment, right? Now I'm thinking about he was talking about how, his first movie, Soul Plane, was bootleg, but he was talking about how that really helped him because it gave him credit to get into the movies. So I know it's in him,
Mm-hmm.
and we talk about them humble beginnings,
Mm-hmm.
but eventually, like when you get up there and get closer to rare air, you kind of forget. So to me, I really felt like his ego needed to be checked because I don't think he kept saying, why should I apologize? I'm not going to apologize for something I didn't say or someone else's joke, but it's your platform, bro, right? And just like you're in my home right now, if something happens or if I invite someone over that disrespects you,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, y'all, we talked about having real moments, didn't we?
Man, is it raining again or just the aftermath?
Man, it's clear sky. This is Texas. It's clear as hell out there. That's why I started to go outside. But bottom line is what I'm saying is that I feel like his ego needed to be checked, and everyone just went along with him because of his brand and what he brings to
Mm-hmm.
the table. And so my question is, as a culture, we demand authenticity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when celebrities or even everyday people get called out, it seems like the first instinct is to spin the narrative. Why is it so hard, you think, for people to just say, yeah, that one stung, yeah, I stunk that up, and just keep it moving? Like just fall on the sword, so to speak.
Because who wants to admit that they're wrong for real? Who wants to have to take accountability when it's easier to just glide on over it? People take the easy route all the time.
Yeah. And it makes me think like, did you care in the first place, right?
Those are the
Did you just
questions.
know what to say?
Mm-hmm.
But really you're showing me how you really think about me, right? And just like I said before, the technical difficulty of the lights, it's still it's like a little quaint in here. I promise you, man, we still on the podcast. But it's just like I said, if you come you're in my home and, I invite someone over and they say some kind of way to you,
Mm-hmm.
you would think I'll be the first one to apologize, not because I wasn't the one said or did it, but I invited you into my home,
Yeah.
right? And that's why I feel like Kevin missed the mark is that, okay, no, you didn't say it, but it was your guest on your roast, on your production that
Mm-hmm.
said something to someone who wasn't in it, the Charlie Kirk family and the Joy Floyd. So even for that, like just stand up and, hey, that's not
Yeah.
my intention,
Yeah.
But I understand, have a human moment. I understand that.
Yeah.
Right? That made good to me. And that's why I feel it was insensitive when he brought up, they said this, my mother and father, Kevin, you were paid to take them slaps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Joy Ford and his family, they would not pay, they wouldn't even check. They were just watching this
Yeah.
thing. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
Yeah. Yeah.
me? My family
What
come
did
in,
I do?
right?
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, the overcorrection also, what I call, let's talk about the cover up a little bit. Do you think the Breakfast Club interview helped or made it worse?
Depends on who you ask.
Right. What do you think?
I think it was unnecessary.
Yeah.
For me, once you inflict pain on somebody, it doesn't matter what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like me personally, the only thing that I really truly took offense to besides the husband that committed suicide, and only because I was with someone who was murdered maybe the week before they were moving here to be with me. So I took that hard. It's not funny. It wasn't easy to deal with. So if someone that I knew and knew that situation was to come to me and say anything off the wall about that the nigga made sure he was killed before he came out here to be with you. Like, I'm slapping the fuck out of you. Because what? That's so that was the only thing that I really took offense to, or I shouldn't say took offense to, like took to heart, because it wasn't easy dealing with something like that. But you can't say something like that to somebody who obviously went through that and then say sorry. Like, oh, my bad.
Yeah.
So like, what were you going to say?
Right. Right. And I think that's my thing is like, imagine the narrative would have been different. Okay, it's already the joke, right?
Mhm.
And look, we're not saying you're gonna please everybody, right?
Right.
Because no matter what, and that's why when I asked you about your brand, like even with everything you do with your brand, you're gonna have a hater or someone or whatever say something about it. So
Mhm.
we're not talking about that. We kind of going back, like we said earlier. Let's get out of this gray area though, Keisha. Ultimately, it was two parts to this.
Mhm.
The first one was just atrocious because I really didn't know. Look, full disclosure, I was a fan of Kevin Hart, and I want to be. Oh, I ain't gonna never be a fan of you no more. Like people make mistakes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I was looking forward to it. I saw the one he did with Tom Brady. Thought that one was very funny in the whole 9 years. So I look forward to it. But it was the first time I watched some, and as much as I love comedy, like
It
if
was
I'm being
hard.
honest, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel.
It was hard. It was
Like, do I supposed to
cringy.
like that? You know, I'm questioning. So I don't think I was able to really.
Yeah.
And one man told me to okay, just watch it again. I'm like, and I couldn't even watch it again. Like, nah, it just felt dirty. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm in
Yeah.
my own personal home, but I'm just making life decisions. Like, no, I don't think when you know something's
Yeah.
wrong
Yeah.
and you know you shouldn't do it, it's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't
Mhm.
do that, right?
Mhm.
And so to me, it's like it was that from the roast and just trying to dissect that and like, did you say that? Like,
Did. But that's the thing. The fact that you allowed it, you allowed it to be aired, everybody saw it. What was the point of coming and saying something to make yourself feel better?
yeah,
You got paid. You should have felt better once that money hit your account.
yeah,
Like, if you're gonna do some fuck, I say this to people all the time. If you're gonna do or say some fuck shit, stand on it. And
that's my
and
thing.
and
Yeah,
if you really gave a damn and you heard about the girl being bullied, you could have called the family directly, like say, what can I do
yeah,
to just alleviate some of that?
yeah. And here's my thing: don't gaslight.
But if you truly don't care that the girl is getting bullied, or that Cheryl might have felt the way, or the boy who daddy died in 9/11 might have felt the way, if you really just don't care, you move on.
Yeah,
You just like they said stuff and didn't come back and apologize for it. Let that shit be.
that's my thing. You stand on it. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Okay, if you want to just do it on your show, he said what he said in the whole 9 yard. What made the insert worse on the Breakfast Club, because first of all, it was targeted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, the apology should be just as loud as the crime, right? Like you wouldn't, no disrespect to the Breakfast Club. Look, I like the Breakfast Club, right?
Love them.
But the Breakfast Club is not on the same level as Netflix or on that brand, right? So if you are here to try to make some type of amends, keep the same energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say to me it was a PR move. And then I think one of the most insensitive things is that you told off on yourself. Yes, was it our finest hour as a people? So you've recognized without being
Mm-hmm.
told, because who made Kevin Hart the speaker of all black people? I don't know. I don't got his phone number. Did you call him and tell him how you feel or whatnot?
Now, hey, the way my phone is set up.
So you feel the need to go on a predominantly, black show and all, and let's just keep a game of
Yeah.
fuck. And trying to own that part. Well, what did I find out? But you never say directly what you want people to do, and this is why I say gaslighting, Keisha.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want people to associate with you. Want to put this between it. Then say that.
Yeah.
Okay, look, it was a great show. This is what I own. This is what I did. This was Lime. Understand this. But I want to say this right now. I vehemently disagree. And I apologize to the people that were hurt simply on the fact that this was my production.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's separate. I don't need you to get a lesson on what a roast is and
Yeah.
how your feelings should be okay. That's for us. We performed in it. I can't
Mm-hmm.
speak to the person out there, to your point, people who are dealing with
Yeah.
suicide or people who are in those triggers that we just
Yeah.
overlook and we laugh about.
Yeah.
So let me just take this because I have the platform. So I can see one of us saying we just gonna be arguing every day on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Kev, you got the platform. And if you really want to do service to us as a people, fall on it. Because to me, straddling it, I don't respect that.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like he did in the pocket. And then he doubled down and said after saying that, What was that our finest hour or whatnot? But then you don't gotta say, I'm gonna be truthful and I'm gonna say this. I'll take the hit for it.
Nobody wants to take the hit.
Tony had the best set. Wait a minute. Drop my pen. How you gonna say the one? Don't worry about it. You now first say you apologize and you own that it did affect us, but then you turn around and say the person who said the George Floyd joke had the best set.
And that's why I say,
Keisha, don't play in my face.
You want me to play behind your back?
Play behind my back, but don't
Okay,
play in
I
my
got
face. You know what I mean?
I got it.
That's why I think when people just sit there and what I feel on social, and I get with social media, I try to keep that in content, but it's like, nah, I want to have this conversation more in nuance for those who can have the conversation, not the reaction. Like we checking for that narrative, people. He had the best, so we still about the joke, not the damage that it done or whatnot. And then you go back after, and I'm scanning over. You can go watch it on YouTube and all that. But me, I want people to quit coming at me. Put the energy on the person.
You know what? I went to the liquor store not too long ago,
Praise
a
the
couple of
Lord.
days ago, amen. And I'm a tequila girl. If I'm not drinking tequila, I'm drinking whiskey or something brown. But we were on tequila that day, and I went to the reposado aisle at, what was I at, Total Wine? Yeah, Total Wine. His liquor was only like $36. What did they used to be? It was like $50.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's a conversation for a whole day. But it's valid to this point, and I know, some people in our audience probably won't appreciate this conversation, but that's my thing. On one end, you can cater to us, and we need for your benefit. But Keisha, when it comes to our well-being and our mental state and whatnot, like that's the parts we sell out. And like I say, look, make your money. Like I'm not one of these people for the stand up here, like, I'm holding you then down. Hey, I don't understand the business, the brand, and whatnot. But again, in this day and time, like we gotta keep the main thing. Cause if not, it's being taken from us already. It's like it's being wrestled with us already.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now if you just let it go, who say you get it again? So that's my whole thing. Like let's not get lost up in just we're going backwards, Keisha. We just just laughing, joking, shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I got a few more questions, man. And this has been a good conversation, right? Like I know look, if you've been commenting, we've been having technical difficulties. Bear with me. But I promise you guys, like I always do, I do try to respond to every comment. So even if it's tonight, tomorrow, like I said, this actually goes live on Friday. It'll be on all podcast platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, and of course you'll find the recording on YouTube. And so we just here with our special guest, Keisha, man. It's been like a blast for the past.
I know.
Like good conversation, laughing and joke. Like even before we set up, it was just like it's gonna be one of them nights.
It's gonna be
man.
one of them.
And the enemy, he's study trying to just stop this conversation, like dim the lights and everything. We like, okay, we just gonna change the mood, right? But we still going, man. Hopefully, the power kind of gets up in the community and things of that sort. But I want to talk to you about, and we kind of touched on this a little bit, the accountability versus the defensiveness, right? And this is kind of pulling away because I don't want people to think we beating Kevin up. No, I think what Kevin did was wrong.
Because I bought that $36.99 bottle.
Right.
I did.
You know what I mean?
I bought 2 of them.
Right. We'll talk about that off air. If you don't go to your trunk and it's empty, I mean, I got some over there, but we'll circle back. We'll pick that out. But no, let's bring it to us, right? Like, and again, people gonna say what they're gonna say, do what they do. But to me, on this podcast, I believe we got to be allies, not adversaries. Even if we agree to disagree, we don't have to be against each other. So these are just questions that you just answer in your own way. We've talked about that enough. Like we see this, we see some of these concepts. We talk about it in relationships all the time when somebody does something wrong or gets called out. Instead of just apologizing, they give you the PowerPoint presentation on why you tripping, the gas station, right? Kind of like you said, somebody sleep with your dude, and then you wrong for finding out, right? It's the cover up. Right? Instead of just standing up and saying, like we said, Kevin, just say it was wrong. Just say that don't agree with your brand or whatnot and just keep moving. You can't change it. There are some people who thought it was a funny joke. Just own it. So in that spirit of the cover up, how do you spot the difference between someone who has a genuine explanation? Like we said, it would have been better if he would have just, I'm a businessman, this would have gave a genuine explanation versus manipulating us, and because I'm Kevin Hart, just believe anything that I say. Like, how do you differentiate when someone's being genuine and taking time to explain how they messed up versus they just covering up where they did you wrong?
I think it all boils down to discernment. You know when someone is genuinely apologetic for something that they did. 9 times out of 10, no, it's gonna be through action, not through words. So I always say, I don't want an apology. I want you to make me feel better that you fucked me over for real.
Yeah.
And I use that when I'm talking to my girls and we talk about cheating. If me and you are together, we have agreed that we are together and you do something. Number one, I don't ever want to find out. I really don't. If you do, plan a trip, plan a dinner. If you know I like funds, buy me a pair of shoes. Do something to make up for it. Don't wait until the hoe get in my inbox thinking that she got something on me, and then I ask you and you be like, well, yeah, I fucked up. I'm sorry.
So make the apology as big as the crime, right? Match the same energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's my thing that ultimately I'm disappointed. Like, look, I can get on the weeds how I feel. Because I've heard coming in because I've been that person who tell jokes. You know, my frat brothers know I used to. Like, and I'm not saying that because I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
But that's my truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand objectively what roasting and what comedy
Mhm.
is to get the biggest laugh. But again, I don't want this to be a defense of that. I think
Yeah.
everyone knows that. I'm talking about the boundaries we talked about, right? Like, okay, if we're gonna apologize, if we wrong, or we recognize that's wrong,
Mm-hmm.
right? I can't read a heart.
Yeah.
Keep the apology the same as big as the crime. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why I think he missed one. Like I called Steven Jackson. But Steven Jackson, ex basketball player, yeah, he can do George Floyd, but he's known he's popular.
Yeah.
What about when we said on the podcast? What about the regular people?
Mm-hmm.
What about the daughter, the
Mm-hmm.
brother? Like, oh, I talked to Steven Jackson. Like, no disrespect to Steve because Steve
Yeah.
a real one, but I'm like, we could have got a little bit closer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying if you would have said on the Breakfast Club because you don't owe us none. Like, we
Mm-hmm.
watched it.
Yeah.
But it would have been good if you would have said Steven Jackson. Well, of course, that's common sense. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
man, I talked to the brother.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Let's have a sit down with the brother. I want to check on the daughter. You know what I'm saying, and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot, and make sure that's there.
Yeah.
Make that apology just as big as the crime.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and this kind of goes back to just comedy as a whole. Like we said earlier, we both like, comedy or whatever, but navigating the roast life. If someone is sitting in that defensive space, whether it's a celebrity or on a morning show or someone sitting on your couch, like how do you engage them as allies and not adversaries without letting them off the hook? So in other words, like when that person do that act of apology,
Mm-hmm.
how do you navigate and make sure you check yourself that you don't come off how you make sure you don't come across wrong and try to match the energy of because you don't have to accept the apology,
You
right?
don't.
Like let's just say a better question. Let's say if you feel in your discernment that I'm not being genuine, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you make sure you still get across, hey, this is how I feel,
Yeah.
right? Because I think a lot of time people want when they see you, yeah, oh, see now they got a problem with that. That's why I say gaslight. Oh, now you coming at me like, no, I can still tell you I don't have to accept that.
Yeah.
So how do you navigate that without possibly being gaslit? Oh, see, you cuss me out and no, I don't check for that.
Yeah. I mean, it all comes down to checking yourself first because even though someone might have done something dirty to you, you always want to make sure that when you come at them, that it makes sense and that it's valid and
Yeah.
you've checked yourself. A lot of people don't take accountability, but it really is just a case by case, the severity of the situation. Because
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like I said, I'm an overthinker. So before I even bring something to you, I have already mapped out the conversation. Your response is my responses. If he say this, what am I going to say? How do I keep from going off? Because when you go off and when you become aggressive with each other, nobody hears one another. So you have to I do a lot of self-talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's healthy.
I don't want to, you can't take words back.
Yeah. That's healthy.
So if I put something out there, shit, I don't have no choice but to stand on it.
Yeah.
So you just have to check yourself.
I think you said something that was important. Look, we're not trying to tell nobody what to think about this roast, after effect, and all that, right? It's a topic where I feel there are nuances we can get out.
Yeah.
If that's not your thing, keep it moving to the other podcast. But I love something that you said. It's the nuance. It's not cookie cutter. I think from the response I saw on social media, even if you disagree with it, right?
Yeah.
Like there is a part where you have to understand it's a business and
Yeah.
whatnot. But that's why I try to do on the new brand of Jay's Corner, Keith, is where how can we be allies? Like we don't have to be enemies. And then that's why I asked that. Well, we enemies now. Well, ain't shit good coming out of this, right? Like it's all attack mode. But if we disagree, but can we still have the conversation?
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like, feel however you feel about them characters that you saw on that stage. One thing we can say, they got paid and this helped them. Good, bad, and different how you feel about it. But let's not lose out on the conversation that there were real people who are
Yeah.
not on that level
Yeah.
who got affected. And I think we have to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
We can walk through life and doing our thing and just fine. We're not, that's cool. But what's someone affected by it? It shouldn't be only be when they knock on our door. And now, oh,
Mm-hmm.
now, geez, you did this to me. And now,
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jane, you in college, you said you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because I think something you said earlier as we close, if we not careful, we playing into a big agenda. And I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
conspiracy theorist, but like
I
we're
am.
playing into a bigger agenda that first of all, I got to get you to not matter, worry about it, laugh it off, desensitize you to it, right? And then I'll come in and you will allow me to do
Yeah.
that which that you used to resist, right? People died over blackface. You
Mm-hmm.
couldn't have said, "Oh, that's just comedy." Laugh it off. Don't worry about how you feel. Oh, you overreacted.
Yeah.
We in 2026 with more freedoms, and now we
Mm-hmm.
say, no, laugh it off.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, we all watched the roast to the end.
Mm-hmm.
All of us.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, it did what it was supposed to do.
I'm gonna be honest though. I'll watch and see if we're gonna have a Will Smith moment.
Yeah.
Cause I'm just like, I know somebody,
I
Cheryl. I love Cheryl, but I was just like, I was just like, and I guess it is a trigger because you know yourself, like we
yeah.
putting ourselves in things, which that's a bad habit. Cause I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Jeff that I'm like you said, look, we gotta catch a fade.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought Tiana was gonna come back on the stage after he said what he said, and then I just knew Lizzo was gonna get with you, but like I said, we don't know the conversation that they had before. We don't know what they got paid. So,
and I will say this quickly. I don't like the fact that we get paid to lose our own moral. But I love Lizzo. I love what she brings to the table as a plus size woman and how she takes a stance on that. But we paid you enough for you to get off your own platform and take jokes about it.
Yeah.
That's a conversation for another. But I'm just like, that's not cool, right? Look, you guys, this has been a great one. Keisha, I'm so glad. Look, let me tell you about this woman. Look, we supposed to be recording. Usually we record just with a link like Zoom, whatnot. This young lady hit me up. I'm at work. She said, "Yeah, I'll just come over." I'm just like, you gonna actually drive or whatnot. Most people don't show up for you like that, and so I want to give you your flowers
I appreciate
in
you.
public or whatnot. Like that meant the world to me. Make the logistics, notwithstanding this storm that came through.
Man.
Got us looking like we on the Love Boat. I mean, what was y'all doing? We were talking about Kevin Hart. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're gonna have me go on the Breakfast Club explaining some stuff. And that's what I'm studying getting reports on from we reported we got your damages and keep delaying it. But I want to thank you seriously for being a part of this conversation. Yeah, we laugh and joke like everybody else, but it's like, man, we got to get back to being normalized and having an intellectual conversation. Like everything that makes me laugh, shouldn't make me laugh. And even if it makes me laugh, I should be able, like you said, now let me call that out, right?
Yeah.
And like I told you with my homegirl, like, yeah, to me, I didn't get it, but once I realized it damaged somebody else, let me take that responsibility.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm one of them people that laughs at everything, like literally everything. So for some of the stuff to gag me, like, ooh, took it too far.
Yeah.
He might have just taken it too far.
Yeah. And like when you know I intentionally sat down, got me some time. Like, I'm gonna watch. I want some good laughs.
Yeah.
And I just felt some type of like, and that's why I took to social media. You know, you stir that
Yeah.
at. But look, I want to thank you for having this conversation with me again. We definitely got to get you back again, man. I think it's always also good, like I told you, to have the dynamic of a woman's perspective, a male's perspective with some of the other conversations we have. But I wanted to touch on this. Yes, it's a polarizing topic.
Yeah.
But I wanted to kind of have the conversation that wasn't being had out there in the masses. So hopefully you guys heard that. You got anything coming up or plug your what you do, man? You already talking about that brand you put out there.
I just partnered with Y Wigs. So if you go through my link, you get a little discount on the hair. Everybody's into the whole miracle knots, the boho braids, the wigs, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm plugged in with Y Wigs. If you need anything, you can hit me on my social media again. On IG, it's the Growing Hands 25. On TikTok, it's the Growing Hands, and on Facebook, it's just Lakesia Davis.
And anything that's on my page where she's tagged in it, man, if that's an easier way of you, if you don't remember, man, let's support each other, man. I won't even get on that soapbox, but in this day and time, man, where people turn each other down, let's go support each other. And when we support each other, I don't mean that you don't have to use it.
That
Like, even as a man, I don't wear weed, but I can know somebody, like, so spread the word, man.
yeah, I know you got a few homegirls, a few sneaky links,
First of
a
all,
few
let's see what you did right there. See, you,
all of y'all out there. I know
what?
y'all not just sitting at home, not talking to nobody. Send that girl over my way.
Jesus Christ, she said sniffing it. I don't even know what that is. I have to look that definition up. I ain't never heard that one before. But you got to look, we get ready to get out of here. Again, I want to thank our special guest, Lakesia Davis, from coming out, man. It's been a long time coming. So hopefully, if God say the same, we can kind of get back and do some other greater things. I do want to leave you guys with a teaser. It's not officially out. Hell, I don't even know if they can see it in this moonlight. Say we have, but you guys, I'm proud to say that my third book, Second Self Help book, is out. The Mental Clarity Reset for Men. It'll be on Amazon here by the end of the week. And so you'll hear me talking about that more. And so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys. Remember, this episode will officially be out. If you missed it, you missed a part of it. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us live. But now the next time you see it's gonna be all cute and pretty and wordy and everything. It'll be launching Friday morning at 7 on all major platforms where you listen to your favorite podcast. This is Coach J. This has been Keisha. Until next time, remember, man, it's better for us to be allies instead of adversaries toward each other.